This is Seattle Mariner baseball from Arlington, Texas, as the Ranger fans making their way into Globe Life Park for Game 2 of the opening series of the 2016 season. Welcome, everybody. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports crew on hand here as the Mariners try to even up their record here with a win tonight as the Rangers take the field. Shin-Soo Choo, Adrian Beltre and company, Nori Aoki ready to do some damage here, get the Mariners in the winning column tonight. Let's take a look at the Mariner batting order for this evening.
Robinson Cano's going to hit third, off to a good start with a home run in yesterday's ball game. Kyle Seager, always a good pick here in this ballpark. He likes to hit here. You see the numbers in Texas, 351, 8 home runs. How about his numbers against Perez, though? 10 for 20 with 3 home runs. Keep an eye on Seager. Chris Iannetta, a good start for him yesterday, a couple of base hits, and Lee getting his first start at first base. He will hit 8. Taking a look at the numbers for Perez, only 14 starts for him last year. He was injured. ERA north of 4, 78 and 2/3, just 48 strikeouts. Again, he is a ground ball pitcher. Fastball will be 90, 91. Good changeup, curveball combination. Now we'll take a look at the defense for the Rangers. Keep an eye on Ian Desmond. It is a windy evening here, and Desmond has been a career shortstop. They've moved him out to left field, so we see how he can handle that. Of course, you have the Gold Glover Beltre at third. Andrews with an error in the game yesterday. And then Chirinos, again, I think the Mariners are going to try to run on him if they get the guys at the top of the lineup on the bases.
There's a look at what Perez did against the Mariners last year. Tommy John surgery. Pitched largely in the second half, and here we go. Nori Aoki, first pitch in there for a strike. Balls and strikes tonight being called by the veteran Marvin Hudson, with James Hoy at first, Chad Fairchild the umpire at second, and Jim Joyce at third. 81 degrees first pitch time, 7:07. So Scott Service got together with his wife, one of his sons, had some sushi, got a good night's sleep. I saw him in the gym today. He threw 40 minutes of batting practice, which he really enjoyed. Said, I'm good at placing the ball in areas where guys are trying to get their work. Well, that's how.
Hopefully it helps, because we've talked a lot about the Rangers getting just the one hit, but the Mariners only 4 hits last night. 2 of them were home runs. But you'd like to get these guys going at the top of the lineup. Aoki and Marte, get them on the bases. Martin hitting 9th. Use some of the speed.
Aoki was one of the guys who was out for extra VP, as puts it in play to Odor on the backhand. Throws him out. Odor, Gutierrez, Cruz, and Lee came out early to have their manager throw BP to him. One away brings up Ketel Marte. 0 for 4 in last night's game. Critical error in the 5th inning, which proved to be fatal for the Mariners, giving up a 3-run spot. They're only 1 earned run. That was the Mariners' Waterloo that evening, that's for sure. Could have been an inning-ending double play. Perez first pitch misses, ball 1. Marte, a switch hitter. 0 for 5 career against Perez. Perez turned 25 years old yesterday. He's behind here 2-0. And popped up. Odor with plenty of room. Not quite as big a crowd. Last night we had 49,289. But still a decent crowd here today. Rangers, the defending American League West champions. 2 outs, nobody on, and bring up Robinson Cano. Line drive home run. Right center field in yesterday's ball game.
It was an impressive home run. 94 from the left-hander Hamels, right on the inside corner, and was able to turn on it.
Turns on this one, but it's going to stay in the yard as Shin-Soo Choo eases over. The Mariners are going quickly, quietly. 7 pitches at the hands of Martin Perez. Rangers coming to bat to face Hisashi Iwakuma. A 9-5 record last year with a 3.54 ERA. Makes his first start of the season.
Take a look at the lineup for the Rangers. Delino DeShields, a lot of speed with DeShields. You want to keep him off the bases. He was on base twice last night and scored a run. Adrian Beltre against Iwakuma. You can see the 306 average with 3 home runs. He will hit cleanup. And Rougned Odor in the 7th spot. Don't forget about him. He's hit .455 off of Iwakuma with a home run. And for Iwakuma last year, see the innings pitched 129 2/3, had 111 strikeouts, just 21 walks last year. Opponents hit .240 off of Iwakuma.
Here we go. His first pitch of the season to DeShields. It's in there for strike. Delino 0 for 2 in last night's ball game. Like mentioned, did score. Was hit by a pitch by Felix. Up the middle, slowed up by Iwakuma, thrown out by Marte.
Take a look at the rest of the defense for the Mariners. Franklin Gutierrez, the DH last night. He is going to play right field, so Cruz, the DH. They have Kyle Seager and Marte, both of them with an error last night, so you guys need to clean that up. Lee getting his first start at first base, and Chris Iannetta, not only a couple of hits, but he also did a great job of keeping the baseball in front of him last night. Had to block a number of pitches with Felix on the mound.
Iwakuma from Japan, and now you've got South Korea's Shin-Soo Choo at the dish. And Dae-Ho Lee at first base for the Mariners. These two guys, he and Choo, went to grade school together. And it was interesting that Choo, I asked Choo about it today. He said, yeah, we were in, first saw him, we were about 9 years old, and I saw this big kid as he gets hit by a pitch. The Little League coach told Choo to recruit Lee, and Choo went to Lee 3 times, and Lee didn't want to do it because it's too expensive to play ball. He lived with his grandmother. They finally convinced him to play. Said big kid could play, and we went on to win the Little League for a couple of years.
That's great.
Well, last night Felix hits a batter. Now Iwakuma hits a batter, and now Prince Fielder.
And both of them in the first inning. First inning for Felix last night. Iwakuma.
Fielder the only hit last night's game.
Well, the Mariners had the shift on, and they had the shift on in yesterday's game and looped a single going the other way.
Yeah, Aoki was shading towards the gap. Way over to his left. Fielder found the room. Sashi Iwakuma coming off a no-hitter last August at home against Baltimore. Then into the season couldn't work a deal with the Mariners. Signed with the Dodgers, and right before they're going through the meds, their medical staff said, we're not liking this, and the deal fell through. A few phone calls later, Kuma's back with the Mariners, and Jerry DiPoto and company couldn't be happy. Scout service with Tim Bogar in the middle. Mel Stottlemyre Jr. on the right, pitching coach. Bogar went 14-8 a couple of years ago, finishing up the season here in Texas when Ron Washington left the job. 2-1 to Fielder. Before the game, picked up the 2015 Players' Choice Award from the Players Association as the AL Comeback Player of the Year. Neck injuries pretty much wiped out a couple of seasons ago. Kuma in trouble here, 3-1 with Beltre on deck. Ball 4. A rare walk. We were talking about the 2 walks that Kuma had last year. Tough go.
Yeah, just 21.
Jeff Bannister, American League Manager of the Year.
Which really is amazing when you think of Iwakuma, because he likes to throw a split. He throws a lot, and last year he only walked 21 batters. About 72% of those splits outside of the strike zone. So he was able to get a lot of hitters and chase that pitch, but he rarely tries to throw it for a strike.
He's got early trouble here because Beltre's 11 for 36 against him with 3 home runs. 1 out, 2 on. Strike. Well, Felix Hernandez will shake it off. We'll see him over the weekend against the Oakland Athletics, a team he dominates. A guy, too, on your left, Wade Miley, will start for the Mariners tomorrow in the series ender here in Arlington. Good paint job, 1-2.
And with Miley, don't be late tuning in because we could be in the 3rd or 4th inning. He works fast.
Well, the bus driver and the pilot, hey boys, stay loose. This might not take a long time. Two on here as the Rangers threaten in the first. That is a big pop-up. Iannetta with plenty of room makes the play. 2 outs. Big out.
And it looks like Iwakuma was able to tie him up. Awkward swing. Right off the end of the bat. And that was a split, chasing it. Right off the end.
Good read by Iannetta to find that ball quickly. Keep the shift on for Mitch Moreland.
Moreland just 5 for 26 against Iwakuma. Had a good year last year for the Rangers.
Cano at short right field. Iannetta out for a few words. Well, Stoudemire learning this pitching staff, coming over after several years in Arizona. Get a chance to see Wade Miley tomorrow. Taijuan Walker on Friday for the home opener. Make sure you get some tickets. I don't think there are very many left. It'll be a great show on Friday night with Ken Griffey Jr. throwing out the first pitch. Strike one to Moreland.
I think that was the first curveball from Iwakuma.
Couple men aboard. Chu at second, Fielder at first. Iwakuma turns 35 years old a week from tonight. Up high for ball one. Iwakuma joined the Mariners back in the 2012 season, went 9-5, then 14-6, 15-9 in the 14 season, and last year 9-5. Biggest thing, keep him healthy. Hopefully he can get 20-25 starts. Perfect world, you'd like to see him get 30. He has had injury problems the last couple of years. There's 1-1. Off speed pitch fouled off. Iwakuma last year 20 starts, 28 the year before. First 2 years durable, 30 and 33. He was missed last year. Chu reached by being hit by a pitch. Fielder walked. Beltre was popped up, so now 1-2 here. So the 5-hole hitting first baseman Mitch Moreland. 2-2.
Iwakuma staying away from his fastball in this at bat. A couple of splits, 2 slow curveballs. The last curveball was at 73 miles an hour.
Iwakuma trying to get out of trouble. Here's a big pitch at 2-2. Missed. Full count.
And another split.
On deck hitter in Desmond. One of the things that Scott Service pointed to regarding Iwakuma, he wanted that split finger pitch to be his out pitch and have great command of it. He's 3-2 here. Aoki, late start. Seager hung with it, makes the play. A couple of runners stranded here in the first. And this fan, minus the glove, nice soft hands and didn't spill a drop. Those scores, we go to the second. Seattle Mariners baseball here in Root Sports, being brought to you by your local Ford stores. By Safeco Insurance, find a local agent at safeco.com. Do more. And by the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting star of Mike and Molly, Billy Gardell, May 14th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. And I did a mechanical bull one time, and that's as close as I need to get to a long arm. I did it at Achilles back in the '81 NBA Finals. It's over there, and it's going to beat your butt. First and last, as Nelson Cruz leads things off, DHing today, followed by Kyle Seager and Franklin Gutierrez.
And Nelson trying to take a couple of pitches. Unfortunately, both of them called strikes. Perez in the first inning throwing just 7 pitches.
0-2 to Nelly, outfield straight away and deep. In tight, hit him. Hit batter.
So it's going to just touch the elbow guard. It does.
Did you wear a mouth guard when you played baseball?
No.
Seems like
They just started to do that, and it was more to relax the player. And that's when they first started coming out with it, right towards the end of my playing career. Now we see a number of guys wearing them.
I'd say on every team we see, maybe about 3-4 guys maybe wearing. Kyle Seager is a guy right now that the Texas Rangers do not want to see up at the plate. The 5-hole hitter today. 10 for 23 homers against Perez, and a career .351 hitter in this building with 8 home runs, including one last night. Perez back off of Tommy John surgery. He's out of Guanare in Venezuela. One to Seager. And not a surprise, Perez being very careful. With Kyle, who's done plenty of damage against Martin and this ball club. 3-1.
It appears he doesn't want to throw him a fastball, but a good fastball count for Kyle.
Goody's on deck.
Again for Perez, his fastball 91 to 92 miles an hour. His best off-speed pitch is the changeup. He will mix in a curveball and a slider.
Seager's aboard. Mariners threaten here with 2 men on. Just like the Rangers in the first inning, a hit batter and a walk. The Mariners have done the same thing here in the second. This week only T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB.TV Premium. Go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up now and catch every moment on America's fastest-growing LTE network. Franklin Gutierrez, the hitter. 1 for 4. Career against Perez, went 0 for 2 in last night's ballgame. Due for a hot streak. Fouls it off. And Goody having great power to right field and right center. It's a good ballpark for him. And the ball carries out of here in right field.
And we really saw that from him last year. Limited at bats, 15 home runs. He's doing the same thing in spring training. Had 4 home runs in the spring.
Infielded double play, depth play on, and back safely is Nelson Cruz.
I don't think they're worried about him trying to steal third. They just don't want him to get too big a lead in case there is a base hit. Keep him a little bit closer to second, make it tougher for him to score.
Rudy, a .292 hitter in 59 games last year. Looks at ball 1. Count evens at 1-1. Earlier today, Kansas City lost to the Mets. That was a 2-0 win behind Noah Syndergaard. And now Perez, he's in some trouble. 2-1. Toronto leads Tampa Bay 2-0. It's the middle of the 4th down at St. Pete. Detroit leads Miami 4-0, middle of the 3rd in Florida. Cardinals and Pittsburgh, will see both of those teams. Cardinals lead 4-3 at Pittsburgh in the 4th. Opportunity here for the Mariners. 2-2.
And it looks like Gutierrez helps him out a little bit here. This is a fastball down out of the strike zone, 92 miles an hour.
Perez had a very economical first inning. 7 pitches, only 2 balls in that first inning. He's thrown 7 balls here in the second. Dribbler foul.
.20 pitches, 11 strikes for him.
Two and two the count. T. Robinson, Chirinos double checking with Marvin Hudson, home plate umpire. Doug Brocail, the new pitching coach, the glasses. Steve Buechele on the left. Tony Beasley on the right. There's a 2-2. And the count is run full. Chris Iannetta is on deck, coming off a 2-for-2 debut as a Mariner yesterday. With the 7th pitch of this at bat to Goody. See what this pitch brings here. 3-2, 2 on. Bouncing ball foul. Do it again. 2 home runs last night by the Mariners. They need a big blow here. Some kind of extra base hit.
Well, anything that's hit hard towards the gaps will get to the wall. It's a fast outfield, fast infield. If you hit a line drive over the shortstop's head or the second baseman, pretty good chance for it to get all the way through.
Field conditions here super highway like.
Yeah.
Here's a 3-2 to Franklin. Staying alive.
He's thrown more pitches to Franklin Gutierrez than he did the entire first inning.
Yeah.
8 pitches to Gutierrez.
They got spoiled that first inning. Hey, pal, you got to work here. Looking forward to getting home to Seattle Friday night. Home opener against the Athletics, and then these Rangers will be in for 3. Next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then back on the road again for the Mariners. New York, Cleveland, and Anaheim. Here's the 3-2. Off-speed pitch, struck him out. One away.
And there you can see the circle change.
Doug Brocail out real quick.
Last year he threw his changeup about 22% of the time. So he will use it quite a bit, especially if he gets into trouble or gets ahead of hitters trying to put him away with it. Mentioned Chris Iannetta with a couple of hits in yesterday's ball game. He was on base all 3 times. He also had a walk. And that is something that Scott Service and Jerry DiPoto talked about him. Last year was a tough year with the Angels. But typically a pretty good on base guy, and something that Chris would like to get back to. Off to a good start.
Line drive, center field, base hit. Cruz to third, being waved on. Here's a high throw to the plate, and sliding in safely is Cruz. 1-0 Seattle on the RBI by Chris Iannetta. Advancing to second was Kyle Seager.
And being aggressive in the strike zone, middle in, stays inside of it. Good looking swing from Iannetta. And that is the first hit of the year for the Mariners with a runner in scoring position. They were 0 for 4 in yesterday's ball game. Now 1 for 2.
One nothing Mariners. 1 out. Runners at first and second. First major league start for Dae-Ho Lee in his first appearance in last night's game as a pinch hitter. I wonder how many fastballs he's going to see, Mike. Good to hit.
Yeah,
let's qualify that a little bit.
I was going to say that if he sees a fastball, it's probably going to be in off the plate, trying to move him around and then go back to the off-speed pitches. The one thing about him, though, is towards the end of spring training, he started to handle that pitch. He was starting to recognize it.
This athletic move by Odor and a high throw. Seager back. Lead pinch hit in the 7th inning for Leonys Martin. Struck out. Three-time batting champion in Korea, 4-time Gold Glove winner, 2-time home run champion. Odor. Elvis complete the double play. Inning over. Mariners do get a run. They go to the home second here in Arlington, and the Mariners have a 1-0 lead. Make sure to arrive early for opening night this Friday. We're going to bring in the 2016 season and welcome home Felix Robbie and your favorite Mariners. All fans are going to get a free magnetic schedule courtesy of Safeco Insurance. Visit Mariners.com for more information. The crowd on hand here at Globe Life Park. Mariners lead 1-0. Ian Desmond going to lead it off here in the second. Former Washington National swings away, fouls it back.
He was very aggressive in yesterday's ball game and swinging at the first pitch here.
2 groundouts, 2 strikeouts, 1 looking yesterday. Kuma ahead on 2. Desmond 0 for 3 against Iwakuma, dating back to our last trip to our nation's capital. Slow roller, Seager charges, quick throw, got him, 1 down.
We'll take a look at Kyle. He's really good at charging the baseball, and more importantly, typically will make an accurate throw to first. Easy play for Lee, the first baseman.
Kyle, Gold Glove winner a couple years ago.
See the gold patch right there on the back of his glove.
There's Rougned Odor. This is one dangerous bottom of the order hitter right here.
I like that Iwakuma started him off with a slow curveball, because if he's going to be aggressive, it'll be on the fastball early in the count, and that's when he'll try to do something with it.
Long fly ball. Martin, though, has room before he gets on the track. 2 outs. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Elvis Andrus, shortstop, batting 8th. Let's get a kick out of the pre-at-bat routines. You see Elvis saying hello to Marvin Hudson, and catcher Iannetta Jr. had a routine like that. Cano does it. Tap him on the shin guards. Were you hail fellow well met when you were walking up to the plate? Did you say anything to the umpire and the catcher? Hey, just growl at him or what?
Yeah, I mean, to the umpire, I would say I thought that pitch was outside.
with a measured tone.
Yeah.
You didn't give him a dude, really? You didn't give him one?
No, I didn't.
Flips it left field, and Aoki's got to play it on the hop. Good 2-strike hitting by Andrews.
Like a pretty good pitch from Iwakuma. I think you have to give him some credit right here, trying to throw the split down out of the strike zone. And you can see Iannetta, he was going to have to block it right off the end of the bat for a base hit.
2-out base runner brings up Robinson Chirinos, the catcher. Did you find that, guys, as the season went along, that some guys get more chatty, less chatty on the bases? Because you were third, you'd see guys all the time.
Yeah, I think that it was the same all the time. You kind of figured it out. For me, I knew when I got to first base which first baseman were going to talk a lot, and the other ones that didn't really have much to say at all.
Who were the ones that you had to almost present a resume? They knew your resume. Who?
Will Clark. Will Clark would have a running conversation even as the pitch is going towards home plate. You know, had no problem finishing a thought and starting a new one. It was funny, though. I enjoyed it. He had a good time out there.
I remember reading stories about Joe Torre talking about he would try to distract Willie Mays. And Willie would, same thing, keep the conversation on and finish it when he came around the bases after hitting 1 out. 0-1 here to Chirinos. 0 for 3 in last night's game. Runner goes. Throw by Iannetta. Got him. Andrews gunned down. 10-pitch inning for Iwakuma. Harmless single. Iannetta erases Andrews. 1-0 Mariners. Take a look at our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Nice work here by Chris Iannetta.
Able to get rid of it quickly with something on it. Quick tag by Cano out at second base.
Good footwork and a powerful throw by Iannetta. If we can get some more Mariner offense cranking here, Linus Martin, a former Ranger, 0 for 2 in last night's ball game. RBI single by Chris Iannetta in the second for the 1-0 lead.
I would really like to see him get off to a decent start. He has so many tools and things that he's capable of doing. Tough year for him last year, just to build up some confidence, feel good about what he's doing.
He is thrilled to be with the Mariners too, so that'd be all part of the package. Where the wind continues to blow very hard in from right field, which we see all the time, but this is particularly stiff wind here today. Look at the flags. Generally that wind would come in and circle back out going out the right field, but last few years of rest runners, ball 4. Made some adjustments here in this building. The current not quite as strong as it used to be going out to right. Second walk issued by Perez. Back to the top of the order, Nori Aoki. There's where the restaurant is. Some of the air goes through there, but before
the changes, when you would look out to the right field and see the flags blowing in, that means it was really heading out because it would swirl back around the stadium.
But now it can exit through some of the wind. They lose some of it going through that restaurant. Here's Aoki, open up the ball game, grounding out the second. Good lead by Martin. Quick one to Nori. Martin stole 36 bases in 2013 for the Rangers. Came back with 31 the next year. Those 2 really good years. This one hit foul. Perez certainly is no Wade Miley out there, that's for sure, in terms of his pace. Throw over to first, Martin back.
I think maybe a little bit frustrated too. A couple of the pitches to Martin, I think he thought were on the corner. Looking at the tracer, it was close, but he didn't get the call. 33 pitches, 19 strikes.
To Nori, fouls it off. San Francisco and Milwaukee 1-1, middle of the third. Chicago and Oakland White Sox starting a little bit later. Nori. High fly ball down the line, hooking a foul. Well, he threw the bat head at that one and got a lot for it, except he hooked it just a little bit. .349 down that line. Shin-Soo Choo. Yeah, it's a little bit of trouble with the lights on that one. 0-2 pitch and a throw over to first. Lefties last year hit .210 against Perez. Right-handers hit .304. See if some of the other guys can do some damage here. 1-0. With an Ionetta single in the second inning. Here's the 0-2. You can see why Aoki's tough to strike out.
Great bat control. Knows the strike zone. Watching Martin over at first base. He's getting a pretty big lead, and I think he's doing it with the idea that he's going to lean back and get to back to first base without a problem. See how far out there he's getting.
Swing and a miss. Aoki strikes out. Make sure you stick around after the game for Mariners postgame. It's presented by Delta Airlines. One out, one on. Ketel Marte, the hitter. And strike out the second for Perez. Marte popped out the second. First at bat.
Martin getting the big lead and making Perez throw over to first as often as he has. When he's going to home with a slide step. Anytime he picks his leg up high in the air, he's thrown over to first. There's a slide step again.
Talking to some people during spring training, talking about Davey Lopes, how he breaks stuff down and he sees all of that stuff. Davey now with Dusty Baker, first base coach in Washington, and obviously Ricky Henderson, who you played with.
Well, I thought it was a great idea for the Mariners to bring in Julio Cruz for the same reason. They were going in, look at video on different pitchers, and then he'd tell them what he's seeing from them.
And as Cruz said, who did I learn from? Davey Lopes and Ricky Henderson. And Cruiser said he'd pass it on to Pat Listash. Pat, the Mariners AAA manager in Tacoma, Rookie of the Year with Milwaukee. Popped up. Odor giving chase, calls off Moreland, makes the play. 2 outs. They get Martin advanced beyond first. CenturyLink, what's next? Starters for tomorrow. Wade Miley makes his Mariners debut, and Colby Lewis, the veteran right-hander, will be on the mound for the Rangers. Will be on the air at 10:30 tomorrow morning. Nathan Carnes to your left. A good spot here for Cano. 2 outs. Mariners up 1-0 with a fast runner at first. Ball 1 to Robbie, flied out to right. Takes it off speed pitch for strike 1-1. Robbie's completely healthy. Great to see. As you know, he had the double hernia operation last October. Still had a wonderful second half. Despite being a couple, 3 steps slower, but he was able to swing the bat at a high clip. This one bounced foul. Certainly a lot of rest for Iwakuma as Edgar Martinez, the hitting coach, one of his prized pupils. And a Hall of Fame track, Robbie Cano can come through here on a 1-2 count. In the dirt, no advance, 2-2. Martin got the inning started, walked on 4 pitches. Aoki struck out. Marte fouled out. Now Cano 2-2. This defensive look. Cruz on deck. Runner goes, pitch, hit foul. Martin had a good jump too.
I think he was going on the first move, and it was one of the few times we've seen the big leg kick throwing to home. He would have been able to steal that easily if it hadn't been fouled off.
If he runs again. Martin holds, pitch to Robbie, drilled to right. But Shin-Soo Choo over towards the line, makes the play. Runner stranded in the third. Mariners 1-0. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports, being brought to you by BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast, and by the Honda Dream Garage Sales event, now at your Honda dealers. Good look at AT&T Stadium, home of the Cowboys. They've had a Final Four there, WrestleMania, all kinds of events. George Strait concert, I heard, drew more than 100,000 there. It's a terrific venue. Robinson Chirinos. He was at the dish when Iannetta threw out Andrus trying to steal. That was the third out. That is a fair ball down the line. And Chirinos slides into second with a double, his first hit of the season.
So he hits this right over the front corner of the bag at third. That was like a split. You can see it's elevated.
Top of the order, and Delano DeShields rounded out to open up the home first.
Seager playing in front of the bag at third, expecting a bunt. Lee's playing in at first.
All pitchers hate that, don't they? Just about to deliver. Time was granted. Chirinos at second. And at the corners are the Mariners, and that pitch is outside. One nothing on a second inning single by Chris Iannetta, scoring Nelson Cruz. Only tally so far. Down low, 2-0. Texas, last night's game, 1 for 7. Runners in scoring position, 0 for 2 thus far today. Big pitch here, 2-0.
Well, the defense playing him to hit the ball the other way, which is what he should be trying to do in this situation. And let's see him try to stay inside that last pitch.
Shields, a speed guy. It's 2 home runs. I think 261 last year, did steal 25 bases. 2-1 pitch. They get 3-1. We've seen Iwakuma walk one already. That was Fielder in the first inning. Shin-Soo Choo on deck. Third time he's been with 3-ball count. One to DeShields. Get out of play. No play for Gutierrez. 2. Plate is made. Souvenir.
Everybody's happy.
Shoes on deck, followed by Fielder and Beltre. Iwakuma is dominated against DeShields. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Oh, he's able to get a piece of that. Running in hard on his hands.
It was a split.
Pitch number 7 coming up. Stoudemire hoping his right-hander can get out of this bit of trouble here in the third. Tying run at second base. Strike 3 called. First strikeout of the evening for Sashi Iwakuma. It's a big one. One down here in the third. Kings Court is back in session at Safeco Field. Felix makes his second start, his first home start of the season. It's coming up Sunday against the A's. Your $30 ticket, here's what it's going to include. Brand new Kings Court t-shirt and a K-card. So visit Mariners.com/Felix to get your seat. Shin-Soo Choo hit by a pitch his first time up. Choo had the great second half last year.
Really struggled early.
43, yeah, it just didn't work. And he eliminated a lot of things. And try not to hit a 9-run homer.
Mariners have the shift on with him hitting.
Simplified a lot of things at 343. Second half of last season. Seager, what a stop. Holds the runner. 2 down. That's an outstanding Gold Glove quality play.
Kyle even had to smile on that one. Ball was hit on the button to his left. Take a look at it again. The shift was on. Kyle was the only one on that side. Tricky hop.
Check mark in the box. That 5-3 play.
Probably saved a run.
Here's Fielder, walked in a 3-1 pitch. First inning. Kuma was able to strand 2 runners. Pitch number 40 here. So out in short right field, that's Robinson Cano for the shift against Prince Fielder again. Fielder, 305 hitter a year ago, 23 homers, 98 runs batted in. Took a big hack. The shoes didn't come off, but if they had, it wouldn't have surprised me.
You'll see that a lot from Iwakuma too. The fastball that's just above the strike zone. More times than not, he can get away with it because everybody has that split in the back of their mind. They're usually late.
1-1 count. Going back is Martin with plenty of room. So the Chirinos leadoff double proves to be harmless as Kuma goes strikeout looking, ground out and fly out. 1-0 Mariners. season. Good to have you with us. Time now for our Geico This State in MLB History. Now let's focus in on the Hall of Famer Ken Griffey Jr. Back in '99, it's his 7th career opening day home run. And then in 2010 becomes the 27th four-decade Major League player. Look forward to seeing Jr. on Friday throwing out the first pitch. Mariners home opener. Can't be with us at Safeco Field. We trust will be with us here on Root Sports. Got some Mariner fans here in the house. Good to see them. Cruz, Seager, and Gutierrez 4, 5, and 6. So we start the 4th inning against Martin Perez. Well, he hit on the elbow guard on an 0-2 pitch his first time up. He's due for a hot streak. You can feel it. 0 for 15 spring training and then broke out. 4 home runs. Couple of base hits. You could see him was on the ball a lot better. This after starting the spring with a balky right knee.
His first at bat, and now in this one, Perez is trying to pitch him inside. Isn't throwing his cutter a lot, but he is using it with Cruz hitting.
Boy, Chris Davis of Baltimore hit more home runs in the major leagues than Nelly did last year. 47 for Davis and 44 for Cruz. Two and 2 to the boomstick. Bottom 5, Detroit at Miami. 5-0 Detroit. Verlander has yet to give up a hit. Earlier today, Boston won at Cleveland 6-2. Here's a line drive, deep left field. It is gone. There it is. You can feel that hot streak coming. Boomstick, baby, on a 2-2 pitch. 2-0 Mariners. First homer of the season for Nelson Cruz.
And he scored both the runs so far for the Mariners in this one. Was hit by a pitch and scored, and now the home run. You see the catcher set up inside. And it was right on the corner. Good swing. Able to stay inside of it. Get it out in the Mariner bullpen.
Well over the 390 sign. Boys pointing to it. That's about 415. Good poke. Strike 1 to Kyle Seager. Walked his first time up. He's got the first one out of the way. Stay hot. Seager walked on a 3-1 pitch, given his 10 for 20 and 3 home runs entering the game against Perez. Perez wanted no part of it.
All 3 of the main guys in the middle of the lineup have homered. Cano and Seager yesterday, and now Cruz.
Good count for Seager. 2-1. There for a strike. Odor in short right field for Kyle.
I think Kyle was thinking along with you, Dave. He was expecting to get a fastball, and Perez was able to get that breaking ball over.
2-2. Hit hard and foul. Happy customers. Although the Mariners lead 2-0 here in the 4th. 2-2 to Seager. Full count. and Gutierrez on deck. Third 3-ball count for Perez. Big pitch here. Popped it up. Andrews battling the wind. One away. It's your last chance to be on hand for Friday's home opener. Here's all you need to do. Buy a 10-game flex pack. You'll be cheering on the Mariners at Safeco Field for one of the biggest games of the year. For more info, log on to mariners.com/flex. You can see Junior throw out the first pitch. Will be on the air at 6 p.m. And we're expecting a pretty good weather weekend in Seattle. Pick one to Gutierrez, struck out on a 3-2 pitch. A 9-pitch at bat for Goody, his first time up. And he's behind 0-2. Well, we do know that Taijuan Walker get the honor of opening up the home portion of this season. A's have yet to announce his starter. Taijuan with a fantastic second half of the season last year. And Goody strikes out for the second time. There's 2 away. That's the third strikeout by Perez, and something new here. A globe-like park, state-of-the-art new lightings. Very similar to what we're used to at Safeco Field. Brand new, state-of-the-art LED lights. There's Iwakuma. RBI single got the Mariners on the board in the second.
Off to a great start. Yesterday was on base all 3 times, including a couple of hits, and starts off with a base hit and an RBI in this game.
Still shaking his head this afternoon in the clubhouse of North Carolina Tar Heels going down to Villanova last night. He's in charge right here. 3-0. Steve Henderson starting the Mariner career, reaching base 8 consecutive times. 4-pitch walk to Iwakuma. So that's 5 for Iwakuma. 2-out base runner with a run in on the Cruz home run. 3rd walk issued by Perez, and that would bring up Day-Ho Lee.
Lee hit into a double play. He hit the ball hard, but it was right at the second baseman, Odor.
Realizing a dream come true. Playing the major leagues after starring in Korea and Japan. 11 years in Korea, 4 in Japan. Hit .293 in his 4 years in Japan, Pacific League. You got to figure he's got to start hitting a few of these breaking balls so he can get them off. Maybe get back to the fastball.
I think he started to do that in spring training. He started to recognize pitches a little bit better, squaring them up.
He's got a good count at 2-0. They give him a huge gap between Desmond, the left fielder, and Shields, the center fielder. Two outs, Iwakuma at first. Line drive center field that Shields will take care of. That'll do it for the Mariners in the 4th. The highlight of the inning and a 2-2 pitch. Nelly Cruz goes boomstick. With about 415 feet into the Mariner bullpen, extends the Mariner lead to 2-0 here in Texas. All right, Angie, thank you very much. Here's Adrian Beltre, the former Mariner, leading things off here in the bottom of the fourth. Looks at strike one. Beltre popped up to catcher Chris Iannetta, first time up. Beltre to be followed by Mitch Moreland and Ian Desmond. Thomas stranded 2 runners in the first inning, 1 in the third. Struck out 1 so far and walked 1. Giving up 2 hits. Andrus singled to left in the second inning and a double by Chirinos leading off the third. Andrus was thrown out trying to steal. Chirinos never left the bag. He was stranded there. One and 2. Off-speed pitch in there.
He's had a good breaking ball today, and he's used it a number of times to either get ahead in the count or back into the count.
1-2 pitch to Beltre. Flips it right field. Ranging over to his right is Gutierrez to make the play. 1 out here in the fourth. Let's take a look at the Mariners calendar. Brought to you by Sleep Training. Series against Texas. There's 6 games against these guys in the first. Early going here in the season. The A's will see them, and then a long road trip. And heaven knows what kind of weather we'll get in New York and Cleveland. How about that back-to-back be in April? We played the Indians over in Goodyear. Actually, it was in Peoria, and Tom Hamilton, their great lead radio broadcast. Rick Riz and I went into the booth because we were playing right after them. And he went into this long soliloquy. Who the heck is making up this schedule? Are these guys coming to Cleveland and New York in April? What are you thinking about? Hammer was funny that night. It's Moreland popped out to Seager. Shift on against him again. Kuma's ahead on 2. Great sports time of the year. We had the national championship last night. Opening couple of days of baseball, and the Masters starts on Thursday. 1-2 here to Moreland. And the women's national championship in college hoops, D1, is tonight. Connecticut going for its 4th consecutive and 11th overall. Syracuse and UConn. Well hit to the gap, right center field. Goody and Martin got to track it down. Moreland to second, and he'll hold there with a 1-out double. And Moreland, his first hit of the season.
We were talking about Iwakuma throwing his breaking ball quite a bit. And we'll take a look at this last curveball. At the bottom of the strike zone. I think he wanted that one in the dirt. Wasn't able to get it there.
Brings up Ian Desmond. Rounded out the third. 2-0 Mariner lead. Iannetta single in the second. 4th inning homer by Cruz to lead off that inning. Strike 1 to Desmond. Time called. Iwakuma looking to be careful against Desmond, who's hungry for his first hit. Paints the corner. He's ahead of him 0-2. His first time up in the second inning, and Desmond grounded out the third.
Martin, the center fielder, shading towards left center. And will wander back to straight up with a couple of strikes on the hitter.
Second big league game as a manager for Scott Service. 0-2 here to Desmond. And he got him a chase. 2 away. Second strikeout for Iwakuma.
I don't think that was the plan, but it worked. You can see Iannetta set up inside. Iwakuma just pulls the fastball all the way across the plate in a weak swing to get the strikeout.
Two outs, man at second. And the always tough Rougned Odor. Second baseman flied out to center field. D. Gordon, the batting champion last year in the National League, just broke up the Verlander no-no with a double in Miami. 5-0 Tigers, bottom of the 6th. One-0 pitch coming to Odor. That counted Jim Joyce at third, didn't go. 2 balls, no strikes.
Iwakuma trying to get him to chase the high fastball. Again, for Iwakuma, his fastball is 87, 88 miles an hour. And he will try the top of the strike zone.
Time called. Iwakuma very deliberate when a man gets aboard. 2-0 pitch. He's behind 3-0. You understand some concern on the face of Mel Stoudemire Jr. 4-3 ball count rung up by Iwakuma. 3-0. There's a strike. The Brewer Authority had ball 4. Well, if Eric Ibar going over to Atlanta, I would say this would be the toughest, peskiest bottom of the order hitter the Mariners probably see in the division all year. 3-1. Bounce foul, fielded by first base coach Hector Ortiz.
If you consider his speed and his ability to bunt for base hits, but also has enough power to hurt you. Let's be careful with him.
Iwakuma trying to get out of this 2-out situation with a man aboard. He's got a 2-0 lead. Payoff pitch here to Odor. Bounced up there, runner will hold, and that's ball 4. Iannetta does a nice job scrambling there. Second walk. First and second, 2 outs. Brings up Elvis Andrus, another guy. Good at the bottom of this order.
On the walk, it was one of the few bad splits that Iwakuma has thrown in the game. He just spiked it well out in front of home plate.
Pitch number 60 is next for Iwakuma as we play here in the 4th.
Andrus with a base hit his first time up. Actually hit a pretty good pitch. 0-2 count. It was a split that was going to be in the dirt, and he served it into left field for a base hit.
Straightaway not too deep is how they play in the outfield and infield, playing straight up. Good break on that pitch. 0-1. Mariners infield of Seager, Marte, Cano, and Lee with Aoki, Martin, and Goody in the outfield. Gutierrez with Iannetta behind the plate. Here's the 0-1. Count evens at 1-1. Wind continues the whip here at Globe Life Park.
It's not slowing down, and I don't think it's supposed to.
One pitch. Trouble. Right field. Gutierrez coming in. Here's the throw to third, cut off by Marte as Moreland scores. Runners at the corners, a run in, a 2-1 ball game. Elvis Andrus with his second hit and his first RBI of 2016.
And we'll take a look at it. High fastball, able to get on top of it and keep it fair. Late swing, just trying to protect the plate. Dumps it right down the line. Rangers now 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. We'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Chirinos. Chirinos with a double his first time up.
Two outs, 2 on, a run in. Look out, boy, that bat just died.
Oh, he saw it right in half. Good running fastball in on his hands.
Thankfully, it hit the netting behind home plate.
We'll take a look at it.
Kindling.
That is in your kitchen.
Inning starting with Beltre flying to right, a double to right center by Moreland. Strikeout of Desmond. Odor walk. Andrews single to right, scoring Moreland and setting up Odor at third. Here's Andrews. Tying and go ahead runs are aboard. Got a tie ball game. Robinson Chirinos, 2 hits tonight, picks up his first RBI. Scoring on a play is Odor, moving up to second is Andrews.
Iwakuma went right back to the fastball, trying to get it inside again, but this one probably, you see it right on the inside corner. 87-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yesterday, Jeff Bannister was talking about how proud he is of that bottom of the order, the way it's constructed. So he learned a lot in all his years in the Pittsburgh organization and watching Whitey Herzog and Tony La Russa and guys like that. Certainly worked here tonight. This damage coming with 2 outs.
And I think Iwakuma wanted the fastball in off the plate like the first one was to see if he can get him to chase it again.
There's Jeff. Top of the order, and DeShields 0 for 2. Grounded out, took a called third strike. 4 of the last 5 hitters have reached for the Rangers. Andrews at second. Fast runner.
Iwakuma had been in great shape with his pitch count. You can see now 23 pitches in the inning, 65 total, 44 strikes for him.
Shields 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 2 last night. One. Pitch number 25. One. Up and in. Not close. Shields, the 7th man to the plate here in the 4th inning. 2-2 ball game, and damage coming with 2 outs. After he struck out Desmond, walk, RBI single, and another RBI single. Back safely as Andrus as Cano snuck in there. Nice throw by Iwakuma.
We'll take a look at it. It's a timing play, and the timing was perfect on it. Hard to tell. See if his fingers were on the bag. It looked like a pretty good tag. Maybe we'll get a better look right here.
It's safe. The count 2-1. Andrews at second, Chirinos at first. Two-one offering. Got caught in between, lucky to get a piece of it. 2-2.
Really been mixing things up, trying to get out of this inning. Used all of his pitches.
He needs to come up with a good one here. 2-2 to Shields with Chu and Fielder right behind him. Runners take off, swing and a miss. And the inning's over. Texas ties it with 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and lead 2. New ball game as we head to the 5th inning. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports, being brought to you by Money Tree. Proud to make a donation of Mariners Care for every Mariners win. By CHI Franciscan Health, the Mariners' official partners in health. Learn to stay Northwest Healthy at nwhealthy.org. And by Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Double Jack Burger today, only at Jack in the Box. Homage to the Longhorns here in Texas. What else would you expect? As we look at Leonys Martin leading it off in the 5th for the Mariners. 2 runs on 3 hits, a couple RBIs by Andrus and Chirinos, tied it up. And he's walked his first time. He's behind 0-2. Line drive. Hanging up in the air, though. And wow, look at his shield just closing quickly. Chu had it all the way. Take a look at our Delta Airlines Keep Climbing standings. And here's what happened in the West. The Rangers overtook the Astros. Both teams did make the playoffs. Angels just missed. Mariners 12 back. Third time through for Nori Aoki, 0 for 2. Did he go? He did, says Marvin Hudson. Nori's grounded out and struck out tonight. Behind here 0-2 for the third time this evening.
What makes things really tough on you, even for a contact hitter.
Here's the 0-2. Bounce the ball up the middle. Here's Odor on the backhand. Throws across his body. Nice play. 2 down.
I don't think you can make this play much better than Odor.
He knew he had to charge it because of the speed. Took a chance, and once he makes this right here, a strong throw back across his body, an accurate throw.
Bring up Marte. Marte popped out to the second baseman a couple of times tonight. 0 for 2.
Just game number 2, but you go 0 for 6. Anxiety starts to rise a little bit.
I think he's okay.
Bouncer to Andrews. Easy inning for Martin Perez. Needs just 8 pitches to go 1, 2, 3 in the 5th in a 2-2 ball game. Two ball game, bottom 5 here in Arlington. Time now for the Big Fish Casino Big Catch. Taking back to Shin Soo Choo's at bat in the 3rd. Watch this play by Seager.
Seager, the only one on the left side of the infield. Ball hit to his left. You see the runner at second base, but this play ends up saving a run.
And speaking of Mr. Chu, he leads off.
This will be an important inning for Iwakuma. Had to throw a lot of pitches in the fourth, and now a tough part of the lineup. Chu, Fielder, and Beltre due up. Mariners have the shift on with Chu hitting. Kyle still the only one on the left side of the infield.
Two-0 pitch. First strike. Iwakuma tonight has struck out 3, walked 2. Giving up 2 runs on 5 hits. He stranded 5. Three and 1.
He has thrown a couple of pitches to Chu. They're trying to pitch him inside with the fastball, and a couple of them, but they were pretty good pitches. Didn't get the call.
Fielder on deck. Iwakuma 5 3-ball counts. And that's his 3rd walk.
And you can see Iannetta holding it right there. Marvin Hudson, the home plate umpire, not giving him the call in the inside corner.
Brings up Prince Fielder, walked and flied to center. He only hit a bloop single to left last night. Mariner pitching held Texas to 3 runs on 1 hit. Texas won the game 3-2. Look out! Bullet hit hard, foul. Fielder wearing number 84. It's his birth year. Shift on against Fielder. 1-1 count. Pulls it to the right side. Seager quite possibly would be the middleman on turning to double play. Popped up just below us. Since that poor soul fell out of the stands in Texas a few years ago when Josh Hamilton was here the first time, can't help but notice when people stand up in the upper deck for a foul ball, they're not super aggressive. Very smart. One and 2. Oh, he got him to chase. That's a big out. 4th strikeout for Iwakuma. 1 down here in the 5th.
Able to get him on the split. 81 miles an hour down and off the outside corner. Pretty good movement on that pitch.
Third time around for Adrian Beltre.
He hit the ball hard his last time up. Line drive out to right field. Gutierrez able to make the catch.
Beltre 11 career hits against Iwakuma, 3 of them have left the yard. Shin-Tzu-Chu and Daeho Lee, a couple of guys that played Little League down in first base, a couple of youngsters. Career getting to catch up, old Little League teammates. Beltre didn't like that call. And looking at that tracer. I understand.
Marvin Hudson, the home plate umpire, maybe trying to even things up because there were a couple of pitches to Chew that he did not get the call on.
Base hit in the left. Adrian Beltre. Runners at first and second. Wrap up this series tomorrow. Century Link What's next. Wade Miley makes his Mariners debut against the veteran Colby Lewis. Colby Lewis been around for a long time. Iwakuma in trouble again. Couple of men on here. First and second. One out. Mitch Moreland, he's doubled to right center. Popped out to Seager.
Rangers are 2 for 9 runners in scoring position.
Wow. It's going to go foul. Plenty of distance. Take a look at Iwakuma. Opponent average through the lineup third time, 275. We are currently going through this lineup for the third time.
81 pitches, 53 strikes for Iwakuma. Nobody throwing in the bullpen.
Oh, 1 to Moreland. Middle deck wave foul. Giancarlo Stanton hit a home run tonight. First home run since June 24th. Iwakuma ahead here. Good power hitter, Mitch Moreland. Trying to keep this a 2-2 ball game. Could use a double play. Runner takes off. Here's a pitch, throw down to third. Not in time. Stolen base, Shin-Soo Choo.
And he gets a huge jump. That's the reason why he decided to steal. Good play by Kyle to keep it on the infield.
Choo with the stolen bases first. Runners at first and third for Ian Desmond. No activity in the Mariner pen. Desmond thus far has grounded out the third and struck out swinging on an 0-2 pitch. Ball 1. Down year for Desmond last year with Washington, 233 with the batting average. He did hit 19 home runs. 7 seasons with the Nationals. Good pitch by Iwakuma. 1-1. Started with a walk to Choo. Fielder strikes out. Base hit Beltre. Moreland strikes out. Choo steals third. We get runners at the corners. Right now, pitch 87 coming up. Desmond ahead, 2-1.
That's the reason why I'm a little bit surprised there isn't somebody up in the pen yet.
2-1 pitch. Two.
able to get away with that fastball. You can see 87 right in the middle of the plate.
Desmond loaded to an outfielder. Signed here with the Rangers. So 3 good years of home run totals at 25, 20, and 24, dating back to the 2012, 13, and 14 seasons in Washington. 2-2 pitch, runner at first, breaks, they got a chance, and no!
Not sure why Beltre was so far off of first base, but you're right, they had a chance.
Beltre will be on the move. 2 outs, 3-2 count. Big spot here for Iwakuma. Runners at the corners. Beltre runs. Pitch swung on and fouled off.
Split almost hit him. Take a look at the swing. You see this going to run right inside.
Pitch number 7 to Desmond coming up.
Starting to leave that split up a lot.
Problematic.
Yeah, might be getting tired. Next pitch will be 90, and Iannetta making a trip out to the mound, letting him know if you're going to throw, you have to bury it. That's when Iwakuma's at his best.
Iannetta drove in the Mariners' first run, 2nd inning. Cruz homered leading off the 4th. 7 men to the plate in the 4th inning for Texas. RBIs by Anderson Chirinos. 3-2 pitch here to Desmond. Beltre on a run. This one popped up, playable. Cano's there. Couple runners stranded as Iwakuma turns him away. We go to the 6th, tied at 2. EQC are pleased to offer members of the U.S. Armed Forces special discounted tickets at all home games this season. Simply show a current military ID at the Safeco Field box office, and it's going to get you 10% off select seats. To all who serve our country, we say thank you. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, and the Root Sports crew here. Game 2 of the season. Raiders trying to even things up after a tough loss last night, 3-2. Tied at 2 now. Had the lead early. The Rangers have crawled back in it. Here's Robbie Cano to lead it off. Cano tonight is twice flied out to right field. Cano, Cruz, and Seager, 3, 4, and 5 for the Mariners. Sitting ball handled by Moreland. Perez gets over. 1 out. See how he pitches Cruz. Now he worked a 2-2 count and then hit a screaming line drive over the 390 sign into the Mariner bullpen.
In his first 2 at bats, he's tried to pitch him inside. As you look at Barnett getting loose, hit him with a pitch his first time up. Nelson ended up scoring a run, and then the other pitch was actually right on the inside corner, and he hit it out of the ballpark. Take a look at it. Fastball inside, and he turned on it.
He knew it immediately. High fives all around the room. Nick Vincent up and warming for the Mariners. First pitch to Nelly. Down low, 1-1. He's picked up from San Diego in the last couple of days of spring training. I believe from one side of the Peoria Sports Complex, come to the other. One out, nobody on. Here's a 1-1. 0-2. Verlander no-nos turned into a 5-3 Detroit lead. Now middle of the 8th in Miami. Pittsburgh and St. Louis 5-5 in the 9th. Tampa Bay 3-2 over Toronto. Giants lead Milwaukee 2-1. How far can you hit one, big fella? 3-1 count coming.
So if he tries him again, he's been trying to throw the cutter on the inside corner. He may come back with a changeup here.
Odor shifts to the left side of the infield. Outfield deep and straight away. Full count.
Two-seam fastball, running it off the outside corner.
Arizona leads Colorado 1-0. Payoff to Cruz. Takes it for ball 4. 1 out base runner. Fourth walk issued by Perez.
Now bring up Kyle Seager. Kyle walked. Popped out to the shortstop.
Bannister, a cancer survivor. A lot of time in the Pittsburgh organization, 29 years. The block by Chirinos. Cruz will hold. Seager with sensational numbers here at Globe Life Park. Best numbers of any divisional opponent. .351 here at Texas, 274 at Oakland, 257 at Houston, and 231 in LA, in Anaheim.
He's also worn out Perez. Start of the game, he was 10 for 20 off of Perez with 3 home runs. 0 for 1 so far in this one.
And at 351, highest average, career average here at this ballpark among active players. Homered last night, leading off the second inning on a 1-0 pitch. Hit it over the 407 sign in right center. Cruz the runner at first. Kyle ahead in the count, 2-1. Right to Moreland. That's a 3-6-3 double play. Inning over. Tough break. We'll return to Arlington right after this 2-2 ball game. Is over for Hisashi Iwakuma in his first start of the 2016 season. What do you think, Mike?
Well, he had to pitch his way out of a lot of problems tonight. He was able to hold the Rangers to 2 for 11 through 5 innings, runners in scoring position. Rangers putting a lot of pressure on him. At times he had a pretty good split. Looked like he was starting to get a little bit tired towards the end. But it's not like Iwakuma had a hit batter and 3 walks. You take a look at his line, 5 strikeouts for him, 90 pitches, 59 of those were strikes. See, both the runs were earned, gave up 6 hits through the 5 innings. So 4 out of the 5 innings he had base runners on, but was able to work his way out of it. Had to throw a lot of pitches to do it, though.
New pitcher for the Mariners making his Mariner debut. Nick Vincent, late of the Padres, came over last week. He's out of Poway, California, 29 years old. 4 years with the Padres beginning in 2012. Got a career record of 9-6 with a 2.63 ERA. First batter is Rougned Odor. Bottom third of the order, Odor, Andrus, and Chirinos. One to Odor, who's fly to center, walked and scored. Vincent worked 23 innings last year for the Padres, 0-1 record. Behind here, 2-1.
Pretty good sinking fastball. Will use a split and a slider.
Padres had a surplus of relievers. Came over on March 30th. A player to be named later. Not too much help the Padres last night. Dodgers beat them 15-0 down in San Diego behind Clayton Kershaw. Dodgers and Padres tee it up a little bit. Shields pitching in that game to start for San Diego. Nice strikeout to begin his Mariner tenure for Nick Vincent. One away here in the 6th. Right from Sound Transit's new Link Light Rail stations on Capitol Hill or at the UW for the best seats in the house. Plan your trip at soundtransit.org.
Elvis Andrus stepping in for the Rangers. He's 2 for 2. Drove in a run in the 4th inning.
Andrus and Chirinos, 8 and 9 hole hitters with RBIs in the 4th. That tied the score at 2-2. Coming in, throwing some strikes. Look the other way. Slicing foul. Vincent, 6 foot, 185. Played at Long Beach State. 18th round pick by the Padres in the 08 draft. Oh, 2 to Andrus. Netta and Cruz with your Mariner RBIs tonight. Cruz went deep, line drive into the bullpen. The Mariners bullpen in left center field. 2-0 lead, top of the 4th. Texas came back with 2 in the bottom half of that inning. Set up way outside. Didn't offer 1-2. question marks about the Mariner Ball Club this year. How's the bullpen going to perform? Back up the middle, Marte. Oh, he booted another one. And an error last night. And an error here.
We'll take a look at it. They're expecting him to pull the ball. It's back up the middle. It looked like he had it for a second. See where it hits him in the glove. It's on the heel again. Nope, right in the middle of the pocket. Just wasn't able to close it in time.
Andrews aboard for the third time. He's 2 for 2 and has now reached on an error. 1 out, 1 on. Here's Chirinos, who's had a heck of a night with a double and a single. Run batted in. That was against Sashi Iwakuma to start it. Don't forget, we'll see the Rangers when we get home next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Make sure you get your tickets. Come on out and see the Mariners at Safeco Field. 1-1.
We're talking about the bullpen, Dave, and they were off to a good start with Mike Montgomery in last night's game. Pitched 2 innings, had 4 strikeouts, really threw the ball well. Everybody's kind of wondering how he was going to take to being a reliever. He's always been a starter, but I thought he was exceptional in last night's game.
Monty did a heck of a job, no question about it. Said it, the biggest thing is adrenaline was really pumping, as you would expect, his first big league relief appearance. And said he's got to cut down on the 25 pitches he needed to get ready out in the bullpen. He says that the veterans out there need about 15. He was really pleased with the way he performed. It felt good. And Scott Service talked a lot about him.
I think it's even more impressive if he was feeling that good to be able to come in and throw strikes. A lot of times you see a lot of high fastballs out of the strike zone, as you saw Nuno getting loose.
The thing when I was talking to him, I said the thing that was one of the things that was impressive. You weren't nibbling around feeling your way. You were coming in pumping in some strikes.
He was throwing 94 miles an hour. Had a good fastball.
It was good stuff. One and 2 here to Chirinos. 2 for 2 night. Andrus has already been thrown out once by Iannetta. It's the 3rd out. Back in the 2nd inning. Tried to steal 2nd. One-two pitch. Strike 3 call. Chirinos rung up.
He didn't like the call. He thought the pitch was high, but a couple of strikeouts now prevents it.
Center fielder, Delino, the Shields.
Early in the season for umpires as well. 2 outs. Vincent will take it. Top of the order. Here's DeShields. Ground out, strikeout looking, strikeout swinging. Mariners in the 7th. We'll have Goody, Iannetta, and Lee. 6, 7, and 8 coming up in this 2-2 ball game. Quick 1 to DeShields. There's the 0-1. Runner holds up high. 1-1. Vincent jumped on the air with us last Thursday after the deal. video equipment manager Billy Seppich driving a San Diego gear over to the Mariners side. He's thrilled to be here. Off the end of the bat, Dae-Ho Lee feeds to Vincent. And Nick Vincent, a nice debut as a Mariner. No damage done in the 6th, 2-2 ball game. Customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB.TV Premium. Go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up now and catch every moment on America's fastest-growing LTE network. Pretty booming business with those hot dogs. That'll feed section number 343 and 45. Wow, shish kebab and everything. Team Perez, his night over for the Texas Rangers.
6 innings, 2 hits, just 2 hits tonight. A couple of earned runs, including a solo home run from Cruz. He walked 4 batters, 3 strikeouts, 88 pitches, 54 strikes. So he and Iwakuma both in some trouble. Both of them leave giving up a couple of runs.
Big league debut for Tony Barnett.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter. Seth Smith is going to hit for Gutierrez.
Barnett coming back from Yakult in Japan, dating back to 2010. Seth Smith, strike one.
Rangers have the shift on with Seth hitting. Probably a good chance we'll see Adam Lind. Lee is due up 3rd in the inning.
Barnett, 32 years old, out of Anchorage, Alaska, lives in Phoenix now. Signed as a free agent right before Christmas last December. Over in Japan, a record of 11-19 in 260 games. Originally selected by Arizona as they get the Edgar scouting report. And Lee, no doubt, is they played in separate leagues over in Japan. There's a line drive base hit off the bat of Seth Smith on a 1-1 pitch. Good start to the Mariners' 7th.
Well, Seth had a great spring, hit over 500 for the spring, and it just continues for him. Talked about the shift, and he decides to hit the ball the other way. A running fastball at around 92 miles an hour.
Seth Smith, huge numbers during the spring. He hit the ball with authority too. Ain't that an out? RBI single back in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. Up high, ball one. Barnett originally drafted by Arizona, 10th round in June of 2006. Cut him loose in January of 10, then he took off for Japan and just came back. Foul off by Chris.
Peralta getting loose in the Mariner pen.
Barnett had a couple of good save years, like last year. He had 41 for the Colt. Tops in the league. 1-2 to Iannetta. Barnett 6'1", 190. Four seasons minor league ball before taking off overseas. 1-2 pitch. Here's the 1-2. Seth Smith, not a fast runner. Modest lead at first. Pitch. And tight to Iannetta for ball 2. 2-2.
Let's see if he's able to check his swing. I think he did.
Drive, center field. Here comes DeShields. He outruns it. Delino DeShields makes a nice play.
Thought maybe Chris had another hit. We talked about DeShields at the start of the game and his speed. He covers a lot of ground in center field, and we're going to have a pinch hitter, but it's going to be Sardinas. He'll get his first at bat.
Luis Sardinas making his Mariner regular season debut. The Sardinas take on Tony Barnett with the Thomas Jefferson High School on Federal Way, Washington. Only 11 native Alaskans have played in the major leagues, and none with Texas until now. Doug Brocail out for a couple of words. Dykeman is getting ready. The long flowing hair and wearing number 43 brings back memories of Dennis Eckersley, a Hall of Famer. Two ball game as we play here in the top of the seventh inning, as Sardinas making his Mariner debut. He's pinch hitting for Dae-Ho Lee, who went 0 for 2. Sardinas came up in the Texas organization. He was outstanding during spring. Back 0-2.
For the Mariners on their bench, Steve Clevenger, backup catcher, and Adam Lynn.
was with Milwaukee last year. He's with the Rangers 2 years ago. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss late. 2 outs.
It was just a good fastball right at the top of the strike zone.
Bring up Leonys Martin, walking, flying right. Mariners runs come in the one in the second. Iannetta with an RBI single. Cruz led off the fourth with a home run. To this point, the Mariners have left 3 men on base. Ball 1 to Leonys. Beltre in third on the grass. It pitch inside and called strike. Martin.
And he thought it was down.
Didn't like it. 1-1. Marvin Hudson on plate umpire tonight. There's defensive setup against the former Ranger. Scott Service shaking his head many times here tonight. 1-1 pitch. Fair ball down into the corner. Seth Smith digging for 2. Maniac to waving them on. Martin running up his back. Here's Odor. The throw to the plate. Not in time. RBI triple. 3-2 Mariners here in the 7th. Leonys Martin coming up with his first Mariner hit in RBI. Boy, did they need that.
Yeah, it was a good job by Maniac to the third base coach, too. He was watching the play. I think he was going to hold up Seth, but then when Chu dropped the ball on the warning track, as you look at this swing, stays on the breaking ball. Saw him drop it on the warning track, and then late he decided to send him. Right there. If Chu had used his glove, picked it up cleanly, they probably would have held him.
Leonys Martin. So they're going to go double RBI. E9. See if Aoki can pick him up.
Good time for Martin to get his first hit. Aoki looking for his first hit. 0 for 7 so far.
Flipped it, base hit, RBI, and a 2-run inning for the Mariners. Nori Aoki first. Mariner hit first. Mariner RBI, and the Mariners have a 4-2 lead.
Well, take a look at it. Another off-speed pitch, and he's able to stay on it. Probably the changeup. A couple of 2-out RBIs for the Mariners.
And that'll do it for Tony Barnett. Diekman's going to come in. Hard throwing left-hander. Saw him last night. Good inning for the Mariners. See if Ketel Marte can keep it going when we get back. 4-2 Seattle. 2 on the board, looking for more here in the 7th. And make sure you're on hand for all the action of opening weekend at Safeco Field. Check out the Mariners 2016 Mariner Ball Club for the first time starting this Friday. Mariners host the A's. Tickets for opening weekend are still available, mariners.com. Taijuan Walker gets the honors. Start the home opener. Athletics have yet to check in with their starter to this point. New pitcher Jake Diekman, 3rd pitcher tonight. He's got Ketel Marte 0 for 3. Beltran, nice play. We'll do it. 1 pitch, they get an out, but the Mariners strike for 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and a man left. A 4-2 Seattle lead. Think you could win Washington's lottery. What would you do if you won? Download the app and play today. Some of the doings here at Globe Life Park. I've got long lines of people trying to get the boomstick here. That'll hold you for a couple, 3 days, maybe even a week. Dave Sims and Mike Flowers and Root Sports crew here. Mariners, 2 runs, 3 hits. Capitalize on an error. Take a 4-2 lead into the bottom of the 7th. And here's what we were talking about. This is the line to get a boomstick. They've waited all day. And the demand, they do have the supply. Takes a while because they make it with care. Joel Peralta takes over his Mariner debut. 40-year-old veteran, and he's got Shin-Soo Choo leading off.
A tough part of the lineup again. Choo, fielder, Beltre.
Looks like satisfied customer, just it's in process of having finished. Got a beard twice as long as Dallas Keuchel. Keuchel started today for the Houston Astros, American League Cy Young Award winner. We certainly saw enough of him last year. Great year. It's his money pitch. If he can control that, Peralta will be very effective.
You see his numbers from last year: a 4.34 ERA, 3-1 record, 24 strikeouts to 8 walks. Opponents hit .248 against him.
1-1 to Choo. Turns him away. Well, turned 40 years old recently. Back on March 23rd. 12th year in the bigs. Been around. 2-1. That's strike 2. Chu unhappy with the Marvin Hudson call. Seth Smith, new right fielder, taking over for Gutierrez. And at first base, Luis Sardinas. Two-two pitch from Peralta. Went inside.
Good pitch.
Tried to duplicate with it. It just done. Joel is a veteran. He's got a heck of a travel log. Back in 05, came up with the Angels, then Kansas City for 3 years, Colorado in 09, Washington in 10, Tampa Bay in 11, 12, and 13, and 14, and last year with the Dodgers.
He wasn't happy about that last pitch. It was right there, and he didn't get the call.
3-2. Tap foul. Chu, Fielder, and Beltre, 2-3-4 here in the 7th inning. Mariner RBIs tonight. Martin and Aoki with the latest. First 2 runs knocked in by Iannetta, and Cruz on a home run, his first of the season. Two to Chu. Popped it up. Long run Seager. Wind will not bring it back to him. Peralta trying to get off to a good start here. It's Mariner tenure. 5'10", 210. Out of the Dominican Republic. Three and 2. Scribner and Cook suffering injuries coming into or early on in spring training certainly opened up the door for Peralta. Pitch number 9 coming here.
Doing a good job mixing it up between his fastball and his split.
Here we go again at 3 and 2. Dribbled foul.
Another split.
Big battle starting up the home 7th. Quick pitched it and walked. If you were with us yesterday or read about it, there were some oddities in this ball game. First, Mariner lost when allowing 1 or fewer hits. Second, Rangers win when recording 1 or few. Second straight year Rangers have been 1 hit on opening day. 5th opening day 1 hitter since Bob Feller. No back in 1940. And since 1913, 68 total games when the winning team recorded 1 or fewer hits. That's 1 per every 2,542 games played. Good grief. They've kept Fielder in the infield. Big out. One out here in the 7th. Brings up Adrian Beltre, who's 1 for 8 against Peralta. AB tonight is 1 for 3. Got a 5th inning single to left.
Peralta happy that he was able to get Fielder on 1 pitch after having to throw 10 to Chu. See if we can get the double play here.
this is playable for Sardinas. A little action here in his first game in the field for the Mariners. Quick 2 down.
First baseman, pitch, Moreland.
And that'll bring up Moreland. He's 0 for 4 against Peralta.
1 for 3 tonight with a double. Scored a run.
Former Mariner Tom Wilhelmsen warming up in the bullpen for Texas along with Sam Dyson. There's Tom in the right. Strike 1 to Moreland. 2 Ranger runs come in the 4th inning with 2 outs. RBI single by Elvis Andrus batting in the 8th hole, followed by Robinson Chirinos. Couple RBI singles. Oh, 1 here to Moreland. Got the high pitch, pulled ahead. 0-2.
He was able to get a couple pop outs with Fielder and Beltre on the high fastball, so he tried it again.
Mariner debut for Joel Peralta ahead of Moreland 0-2. Shift on against Mitch. Fouled it off. Mariners have Sardinas holding a runner, and then you've got Cano in short right field shading towards the line. There's Robbie. Advantage Peralta. He's got an 0-2 count. Smothered by Iwakuma. Ball 1.
It's nice to have the confidence to be able to bury that split into the dirt. Want to throw it in the dirt and had the confidence to do it because Iwakuma, we saw this throughout spring training, keeps the ball in front of him. Does a nice job blocking pitches in the dirt.
Comes a big pitch at 1-2 in this 2-run ball game. Fouled off. Looking forward to getting home to Seattle. See all the Mariner fans fill the ballpark. Safeco Field with a new coaching staff and a lot of new players. Be on the air here on Root Sports. If you can't make it, it's 6 p.m. on Friday. Oakland A's will be in town, followed by these Texas Rangers. Next homestand after that, Houston and Kansas City will come in last week of this month. 1-2 to Mitch Moreland. Runner goes. Dribbled foul.
And he had that base easy. May not have even thrown it down there. Big leg kick from Peralta. Good jump by Chu. And we'll take a look at it. See the big leg kick. A lot of time getting the ball to home.
Chu's good all-around ball player. Alder trying to end this 7th inning. Here's a 1-2 to Moreland one more time. 2-2. Pitch number 20 coming up. 2-2. Runner goes again. Pitch to Moreland. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. Inning over. Runner stranded. We played 7. The Mariners lead it 4-2. Joel Peralta with a big spot, striking out a power hitter Mitch Moreland to end the Rangers' 7th. V for Villanova, V for victory, baby. Let me tell you, go Big East. Absolutely. And Breanna Stewart, you're going to like that selection for the Storm. Big Tom Wilhelmsen making his Ranger debut. We missed the personality of Mr. Wilhelmsen. And he's greeted by a high drive, deep right field. Goodbye! Home run off the bat of Robinson Cano. It's 5-2 Seattle.
So for Cano has homered in back-to-back games. And that's exactly what we're able to see in spring training. He was turning on the ball all spring long, and now a couple of home runs to right field. That one went into the second deck.
A monster blast by Robbie Cano.
He certainly knows Tom, and Tom trying to get ahead with a fastball. You see it's middle in right at the knees.
That guy wheelhoused. Second home run for Robbie. 5-2 Mariners. Here's Nelson Cruz. Ellie with his first home run back in the 4th inning to lead off. He was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the 2nd, homered in the 4th, walked in the 6th. Breaking ball for a strike. Third extra base hit by the Mariners in this ball game. Down low to Cruz, 2-1.
Benoit getting loose in the pen.
Chu, long run towards the line. Wynn taking it, drops in for base hit. Cruz running hard, throw to second, safe! A hustle double by Nelly Cruz.
His second base hit. Got a home run in the fourth, and now that double.
He knows all about the wind, and he saw the long run that Chu had to make.
Aggressive base running because he has a strong arm.
Fumbled by
Andrews. Wasn't able to handle it.
Worked out well for the Mariners. So a home run and a double greeting Tom Wilhelmsen in his Ranger debut. Ball one to Kyle Seager. Seager's walked, popped to short, bounced into a double play. Seager turns on one, but hooks it foul. 1-1. Door about 20 feet into the outfield. Second baseman for Texas. Mariners with a run in the second, one in the fourth, two in the seventh, one here in the eighth, and looking for more. It's a Mariner faithful. 2-1.
What an impressive home run by Cano. He almost hit it in the walkway.
We're still buzzing about it. Seager fouls it off. 2-2. Trevor Story, we were talking so much about the Colorado shortstop. He had 2 home runs last night, hit another tonight.
Let's see him the last couple of games of spring training against the Mariners.
This one well hit. Down the line. That is fair. One hop off the fence. Cruz coming around. He's going to score. Seager with an RBI double, and the Mariners have a 6-2 lead. Kyle with his first hit tonight, an RBI, his second in 2 games, and a nice 4-run cushion.
And with the double, Nelson Cruz will score his 3rd run of the ball game. As you take a look at Kyle on the curveball, out in front of it a little bit, able to keep his hands back and drive it down into the corner, but more importantly, keep it fair.
Mariners roughing up their old teammate. Home run, double. Seth Smith coming off a sensational spring. Already 1 for 1. Came in to pinch hit for Goody in the 8th inning and singled to center and came around to score.
Oh boy.
That's cranked way out of here. Smitty's left the yard. Upper tank. 2-run jack for Seth Smith. And they're all over the bartender here tonight in Arlington. A 4 spot in the 8th. It's 8-2 Mariners. Home run, double, home run.
And one thing you have to hope is when you're having a great spring, and Seth did, is you're able to carry it over into the season. And this is his 2nd hit of the game. And another long home run.
Boy, you want to have EMS up there in that upper tank.
3, 4, 5, 6 hitters in the lineup tonight have scored 7 runs and driven in 5.
Tom was feeling good when he came to the mound here, face his old teammates, and they said, "Hey, Tom, good to see you. Really good to see you. Home run, double, RBI double, 2-run homer." Faced 4 batters, nobody out. There's Iannetta. He wants some. Well, that's not a surprise. Mariners. Jeff Bannister pointing at Scott Service. Scott used to work in the Texas organization, although he and Bannister didn't really cross paths. Again, this is Bannister's second year, and he'd been at Pittsburgh for 29 years.
And we'll take a look at it. Fastball. I'm not sure where it gets him. Right in the back of the leg. And Tom has been thrown out of the ball game.
Moreland coming in quickly. Bannister. Okay. It's only the second game, Mike.
Yeah, they get to see each other a lot this year, don't they? Makes it a little bit interesting.
We only got 17 more of these bad boys to go. We got a little bad blood boiling here in Arlington with the Mariners up big 8-2 as they rough up their old teammate Tom Wilhelmsen here in the 8th. 8-2 Seattle. A bank difference in the ball game, and what an explosive 8th inning it has been for the Mariners. We'll go back to the 7th inning, and here's Leonys Martin drilling one into the corner. That picks up an RBI.
That was great to see his first base hit as a Mariner. That RBI with a couple of outs, and then Aoki the same thing. His first hit, and he'll pick up an RBI.
2 runs on 3 hits, capitalize on an error in that inning. Here in the 8th, busted it wide open against Tom Wilhelmsen. Gives up a home run, a double, an RBI double, and a 2-run homer. Chris Iannetta took one on the left thigh.
And he was upset. I don't blame him.
Yeah, and you get rocked for 1, 2, 3, 4 straight hits and all hit hard, and then he wears one on the left thigh.
On the first pitch, well in off the plate.
Right.
And I mean, obviously, he knows what's going on. He doesn't have to like it, right?
No, absolutely. No, absolutely. You expected. I know he's smart enough. He's been around. He sort of expected, but
I don't think he did.
Like
I don't think he did.
You don't think
this early in the season, I don't think that he expected him to get hit on the first pitch. I think he knew what was going on when it happened, though.
Well, yeah, no question about it.
Yeah.
But he's smiling about it. But I still think he expected it a little bit. He just didn't like it. But you make a good point about what was Jeff Bannister reacting to when he came out with the fingerprint.
Yeah, I mean, it was his guy that started it with Tom throwing the ball at Chris. So I'm wondering if somebody said something from the Mariner dugout, and that's when he came out of his dugout. And of course, Scott's going to stick up for his guys, and he was immediately out of the dugout. As you look at Andrew Faulkner,
and there was finger pointing back and forth. So, as we said, this 17 more get-togethers after tonight with the Texas Rangers. Wilhelmsen's line. Well, Mariners like it. No innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 homers, a hit, batter, and 12 pitches. This is Andrew Faulkner.
Sardinas, switch hitter, will turn around and hit right at it.
And look at this, deep drive left field. Getting up and gone, a 2-run homer by Luis Sardinas. 10-2 Seattle. First pitch from Faulkner. Wow. Luis Sardinas picking up where he left off in a fabulous spring.
This is one way to answer it. First pitch, swinging for the switch hitter.
No doubt about it. My goodness. Here's Martin.
And with that home run, Tom Wilhelmsen did not record it out. That's 5 earned runs for Tom.
Woo. Hit to Chu. There's the first out of the inning. Martin limping. That's not a good sign.
I'll take a look at the swing, see if something happened when he came out of the box. Rolled his ankle right there, left ankle.
That's a tough break.
Benoit had been getting loose with him, but it looks like it's Tony Zick now with the Mariners scoring all these runs.
Top of the order, and Aoki.
There's Tony.
6 runs in this frame by the Mariners. Aoki behind 0-2. Got a piece of it.
Good example why he puts the ball in play so much throughout his career. He basically hit that fastball right out of the catcher's glove. When he gets 2 strikes, he will let the ball get really deep.
Up high, 1-2. Okie trying to keep this thing going here. And he shoots it through the 6-hole, base hit.
What a good at bat. Back-to-back hits for him.
This will be the 9th man to the plate here in the 8th inning for the Mariners. This one's a great piece of audio. Hall of Famer, it's a different sport, but it's apropos. Mike Singletary, Chicago Bears. I like these kind of parties, baby. Marte looking for a hit. He's 0 for 4.
I think it's safe to say that this is not over.
It's just
by
beginning.
A long stretch.
Just beginning, my man. Just beginning. Bathe in this box score, will you please? Enjoy it.
Let's see if Marte can join the party and check in right here with a base hit.
Mariners were 12-7 against Texas last season. And for Scott Service, his first finger pointing at another manager. So another off his checklist. Out of the dugout, exchanging unpleasantries. Marte rockets one. Deep left center field. Going back is to Shields to make the catch.
Well, maybe he had it, his first hit.
Gave it a good ride. You can take a little satisfaction in that. 2 outs and the 10th player to the plate here in the 8th inning is Robinson Cano.
He's the one that started everything in this inning.
CenturyLink, what's next? You've got Wade Miley coming off an 11-11 campaign last year in Boston against the veteran right-hander Colby Lewis.
Cano hit the first pitch of the inning into the upper deck out in the right center field.
Robbie for the second time here in the 8th. Ball 1 to Cano. This game was moving along like a slumber party, and all of a sudden, explosions all over the place. That'll do it. But you gotta like what the Mariners do in that inning. A home run from Cano, RBIs from Seager, from Smith, a home run by Sardinius. It's 10-2 Seattle. A 10-2 lead here in Arlington in the 8th inning. And a long time ago, Sashi Iwakuma started this ball game. It was a slow-paced game. He hung in there. It wasn't great, but it's good enough to keep it a 2-2 ball game when he left.
Yeah, he had to throw 90 pitches to get through the 5 innings, and he had base runners in 4 of the 5 innings. So constantly in trouble. But the good news is he held the Rangers to 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position and left the game with the ball game tied 2-2. But overall, 5 innings, 6 hits, a couple of runs. They were earned. He had 3 walks. That's not like him at all. 5 strikeouts, 90 pitches, 59 of those for strikes. And Tony Zick will take over, a 2.45 ERA last year. In 18 1/3, he had 24 strikeouts and only 3 walks. Really threw the ball well. Good fastball. He'll be 95 to 97 miles an hour with a hard slider.
Tony's going to face Ian Desmond to lead it off. It'll be 6, 7, and 8. Odor and Andrews to follow. And we saw Leonys Martin roll his ankle at last at bat, but he's out there in center field. Good sign. Tony behind 2-0. Right now at a 10-2 lead, pretty simple assignment. Throw strikes.
Talk about it all the time, but sometimes when guys are having their first appearances, you have to give them a little bit of a pass to settle in. One of the things that Tony did really well last year was throw strikes. Bit unusual for a power pitcher. Again, his fastball is going to be 95 to 97 miles an hour, but only 3 walks to his 24 strikeouts. It was impressive.
2-2 to Desmond. He's 0 for 3 tonight. One low. Ned Odor on deck. 0 for 2. Walk, run scored tonight. Check swing. Seager charges. Just got him. Wow. First base umpire is James Hoare.
Take a look at Kyle.
Bang, bang.
That was close.
It sure was. Desmond hanging out on the, not even on the warning track.
They're going to challenge it.
First replay of the season. Here's a look at it, and he is. Oh man, that's close.
The glove doesn't have to be closed. It's just the ball in the back of the glove.
Correct.
Take a look right here. What do you think?
Safe.
Do you?
What? Broadside fired by the Mariners. 6 runs in the 8th. It certainly cleared out a lot of the crowd here this evening. Windy day. Windy night. They say it's 12 miles an hour. I'm not buying that.
No,
it's got to
I'm
be
not
25, 30 easily.
It's a big night for all the guys in the middle of the lineup. Good to see. A couple of the guys that came off the bench. Seth Smith, 2 for 2 with a home run. Sardinas, 1 for 2 with a home run.
Smith didn't waste any time. 1-1 pitch. He singled first time up. First pitch he saw the second time. There's some kind of dialed in. 2 for 2 night for Cruz. He scored 3 times.
And you're right. Safe.
Enjoy some crew chief.
Now batting second baseman, Odor.
Infield hit for Ian Desmond. Odor will be the hitter now. So base hit. Took a minute 30 on that review. Here's the 1-0 to Odor. Tony behind 2-0. Well, about an hour and a half ago, we were telling you that Justin Verlander was throwing a no-no through 5. And guess what? They're bottom 11 now. Detroit at Miami. Detroit leads at 8-7. It's going to back up Martin. Plenty of room there. One out, one on here in the 8th. Century Link, what's next? speculating that Eric Surkamp is going to be getting the call to start for the Athletics against Taijuan Walker.
And it also looks like the Mariners are going to miss Sonny Gray. That's a good thing.
Yeah, he came up. He came up with an injury last night or night before. Food poisoning is a more accurate interpretation. Well, he is a good pitcher. Elvis Andrus. Elvis tonight. Single to left in the second, RBI single to right in the fourth. And reached on an error by Marte, so it's 2 for 3. 1-1 in the count. Cubs lead at the Angels 4-0. They're in the bottom of the fourth. He's not as sharp as he'd like to be right now. As you mentioned, it is the first outing, but we've seen him a little sharper, a lot sharper than this. Oakland 1-0 over the White Sox in Oakland. It's in the fourth. 2-1. It's moving. 3-1. Robinson Chirinos, the catchers on deck. Full count. Dodgers beat the Padres 15-0 last night. Dodgers lead it 3-0 tonight, bottom 4. Here's a 3-2 to Elvis. Strike 3 called. He's gone. 2 outs.
Not sure what he's arguing about. 95 right down the middle.
I guess as good as mine. 2 outs. Brings up Chirinos. 2 hits tonight. 2 for 3.
Having a tough time getting his breaking ball over. Yeah, that was a pretty good pitch.
Mentioned the Mariners 12-7 against Texas last year. 6-4 at home, 6-3 here. That ended a run of 7 consecutive years where the Rangers had won the season series. One. Good pitch. Ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at first. Here in the 8th, Mariners with a run in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 7th, and then 6 in the 8th inning. So the 10 men to the plate. Home runs by Cano and Seth Smith and Luis Sardinas. 1-2 to Chirinos. Struck him out. Tony Zick comes back with a couple of Ks after an infield hit. To the 9th inning we go. 10-2 Mariners. MLB TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 devices. Includes a free subscription to At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Visit Mariners.com for details. Good look at Globe Life Park, 28,386. Many of them have had their boomstick and gone home.
Nelson Cruz has had a good night. He's hit by a pitch and scored a run. Homered out to left center field. Walked and doubled and scored. Scored 3 times tonight.
Wind picking up. Again, 1-1. Andrew Faulkner. 5th pitcher used tonight by Texas. Cruz, Seager, and Seth Smith coming up here in the 9th. Two and two. Only Texas runs come in the 4th inning. Andrus and Chirino singling in runs off of Iwakuma. Two and two to Nelly. Going to stay in the yard. High pop. Wind blown. Long run for center fielder DeShields. One away. We'll bring up Kyle Seager. RBI double in the 8th inning. 10 men to the plate. Mariners score 6 runs on 6 hits. The guy they bludgeoned was former teammate Tom Wilhelmsen. Gave up 4 hits, 5 runs, all earned. Gave up 2 home runs. Andrew Faulkner. Seager's able to hold. They check. Ooh, no. Jim Joy said he did commit. 1-1.
Kyle with a home run in last night's game and has a double and an RBI in this one. Also scored a run.
Popped up. Beltre's under it. So to give you an idea what kind of inning Wilhelmsen had. This is what he does after giving up a home run to Cano, a double to Cruz, a double to Seager, and a 2-run homer to Smith. Hits Iannetta, and then finger pointing. Back and forth. And here we are in game number 2. Tempers at full boil. Divisional matchups, you gotta love them. This is game number 2 of a 19-game season engagement.
Well, Scott Servais managing his 2nd game didn't hesitate to come out of the dugout. I liked it.
Finger loaded, pointed.
Yep. Seth came into the game in the 7th inning to pinch hit, picked up a base hit, scored a run, and then hit a home run in the 8th.
Bounces this one to Odor. That'll do it for the Mariners. In the 9th, top of the order coming up for the Rangers. Mariners in charge, 10-2. The order for the Rangers here in the 9th inning. 10-2 Mariner lead. They exploded for 6 runs in the 8th inning after putting up a 2-spot in the 7th. And broke a 2-2 tie. Tony Zick struck out 2 in the 8th. Gave up an infield hit. He's got the top of the order. Delino DeShields here to start it. Shields tonight 0 for 4, struck out swinging and looking. Up high for ball 2.
We're talking about Tony in the last inning not being as sharp as we're used to seeing him. I like the fact that Scott is running him back out there for another inning. See if he can get it figured out, settle down.
It was 3-0. Back in the count. 3-1. Tony back 3-2 now. That game that Verlander was throwing, he had a no-hitter. He also had it going for a while. He also picked up a base hit. Zick walks. DeShields on a 3-2 pitch. And Verlander, first American League pitcher to get a hit on opening day since 1972. Well, Cano with a home run, his second. Cruz with his first. Seth Smith with his first. And Sardinas jumped in as well.
And with Chu hitting, the Mariners will put the shift on again.
One to Chu. Walked his last 2 times up. Tony struggling.
Yeah, last inning was with his breaking ball. In this inning, it's the fastball. Having a tough time.
And let him walk it off for a couple seconds. Two-one pitch. Bouncing ball foul. Pitch number 30 coming up for Tony. Followed Joel Peralta, who made his Mariner debut through a scoreless 7th. Chu trying to walk that one off. Ready to go. Two-two pitch. Pitch number 7 coming up to Chu.
It's the one thing that we've learned with the Rangers and their lineup that typically will make pitchers work, and we've seen that today. Was Iwakuma having to throw 90 pitches to get through 5 innings.
Strike 3 call. Tony Zick with his 3rd strikeout. There's one away here in the 9th.
Good pitch right on the inside corner.
Prince fielder. Walk, fly to center, strike out, and a foul out. Broken bat ground ball. They get 1, they get 2, and that is your ball game. A resounding win by the Mariners to even their 2-game record at 1-1, and they did it with a big power broadside in the 8th inning with 6 runs, 3 homers, led by Robinson Cano. What a ball game.
A lot to like in this one. Iwakuma, we've talked about him, and he had to struggle to get through the 5 innings. But the bullpen, again, a lot of guys making their debut today. They all pitched well, including Tony Zick, Peralta, Nick Vincent in the game today. That was good to see.